Tech tips with LG Electronics, our supplier in focus this week was Sungrow Australia, and all the latest news and regular updates. Wednesday the 26th of August. I'm Andrew Burgess and welcome to the Juice News. First up in tonight's news is a report by the ABC that an inquiry will be held into the household solar industry. This will be undertaken by the Clean Energy Regulator at the direction of the Energy Minister Angus Taylor. It comes off the back of a 7:30 report which aired last week that showed a number of dodgy sales tactics by certain companies that included a lot of these buy now, pay later schemes. The terms of reference of the inquiry will also cover a broader range of issues, including the creation of STCs, as well as the accreditation of both installers and retailers alike. In more positive news, on Friday last week, renewables accounted for 48.6% of all of the electricity being generated across the national electricity market. This included both solar renewable as well as hydro and wind power, and was a fantastic achievement, a record that's never been set before. For this week's tech tip, I'd like to hand over to our good friends from LG Electronics and introduce Mr. Markus Lambert. Markus, over to you.
Hi, Markus here from LG. Many people, when it comes to solar, they wonder about the ROI, and a lot of people think, well, if I buy the cheapest solar, then I have the closest and shortest ROI. We actually argue the other way. If you buy the best quality solar, the longest lasting panel, the panel with the strongest product warranty, and that in our case is 25 years, then let's say if you sell the house after 10 years, you still pass 15 years of warranted savings onto the new customer. Now, if it's a good brand, that means you actually have added value to your house. If it's a brand that nobody's ever heard of and the warranty has expired, in that case, you haven't really added value to your house. So from that perspective, going for a top quality panel with a long warranty and a company that has been in Australia for 26 years, been around overall for 62 years, has a meaning. You pay a bit more, but you're also creating a bigger asset. Now, also from our perspective in partnership with Solar Juice, we've just developed this little brochure that shows you 7 different arguments why to buy the LG panel. So if you're thinking of maybe adding LG to the portfolio, then you can call Solar Juice, they can send a box of this out to you. You then know how to sell the LG panels. You can add it to your portfolio, make a bit more margin, and sell a product that has a very, very solid backing. So back to you, Andrew.
For all the latest updates on what's happening in the world of STCs, I'd like to pass over to our good friends from Formbay to give us all an update. Guys, over to you.
Hi Andrew. Last week's creation rate was at 870,000, which is down from 960 from the previous week. This is mostly due to Victoria with a 50k drop in STCs. Despite this, the industry is still creating a surplus of STCs and the price is still maintaining at $38.20. Back to you, Andrew.
For all the latest updates of what's happening around the Solar Juice warehouses, what we've got coming in and going out over the course of the next week, I'd like to hand over to my good friend Rami to give us all an update. Rami, over to you, buddy.
Thanks, Andrew. Actually, today I will not be giving an update of what's happening in the warehouse. However, I would like to give an update and some insight of what's happening in the world of polysilicon, the key ingredient to produce not only poly panels, but also monosilicon panels as well. Just in the last few weeks, we've already seen a few explosions that happened in China, which knocked out 2 factories. And just last week, we've also seen a flood that also knocked out the whole capacity of another production facility as well. So what does this mean? Just in May, we have seen polysilicon hit an all-time low. And since then, pricing has increased by 60% and also has impacted the whole value chain that flows through from polysilicon, from the ingot, wafer, solar cell, and solar panel. Just last week, 2 of our solar panel suppliers have mentioned that any new orders placed would incur a 10% increase. So what does this mean for our customers? My advice is get your orders in today or as early as possible. Definitely there'll be a price increase by October. We're trying to hold off passing on any increases. Thank God that the Australian dollar has strengthened. This has helped absorb some of the price increase. But with the flood which happened very recently and also the local demand in China, we're seeing some momentum where the pricing will continuously go up. That's all from me, Andrew. Back to you.
In other really good news, the New South Wales Government has launched a grant scheme for up to $10 million that will look at both recycling of both solar panels and batteries. The initial expression of interest closes on September the 17th and will look at a range of issues associated with what to do with potentially hundreds of thousands of panels as they come to the end of their life over the next couple of decades. A really good initiative by the New South Wales Government. For this week's Supplier in Focus, I'd like to introduce Deepak from Sungrow, Australia. Deepak, over to you.
Hello everyone, I'm Deepak Nayak, Sales Manager at Sungrow, Australia. We are quite excited about our partnership with SolarJuice. Sungrow being the biggest inverter brand globally and SolarJuice being one of the biggest distributor in Australia as well as in Southeast Asia, the two brands teaming up was but inevitable. Sungrow doesn't need any special introduction. We are a global player in the renewable energy sector, offering a world-class solution since 1997 and having our presence in Australia since 2009. We are local. All our staff operate from our head office in North Sydney and we have a local warehousing in Greater Sydney. At Sungrow, we believe in clean power for all. This includes inverters, battery storage systems, floating PV, EV and wind converters. With an annual capacity to deploy 50 gigawatt of inverters and 6 gigawatt of battery storage systems, we are well placed to fuel the growing demand for clean energy. In Australia, we are a prominent player in the residential, commercial as well as the utility scale projects. With the introduction of CX premium range inverters, our commercial installs are already hitting the charts with many megawatts of rollouts. With our superior pre-sales support and after-sales service, we at Sungrow always put our customers first. So let us know about your next commercial install and we'll be ready for you. That's all for now. This is Deepak signing off.
And finally tonight, the winners of the 2020 Clean Energy Council Awards have been announced. In particular, the Outstanding Contribution to the Industry Award went to Giles Parkinson for his work on renewable economy, a fantastic and passionate renewable energy advocate, and great work, Giles. There are also a number of other winners, which we congratulate them as well, and the details of those are listed in the link below. Congratulations to everyone who was involved. For this week, the latest on what's happening with leads around the country, I'd like to bring in our good friends from 3 Quotes. Guys, over to you.
Thanks, Andrew. August has seen the rate of solar interest at a normal level for this time of year. Typically, August works at 95% of the monthly average, and so far August 2020 is bang on target. Things start picking up in September as we build towards October, which is generally a fantastic month for closing sales orders for new solar systems. The cost of generating leads is running quite high in Queensland at the moment. This is an indicator that there is a lot of competition in how much solar companies are willing to pay Google and Facebook for a click or an impression. The click price in Queensland has doubled some other states. There are only so many people thinking about solar at any particular point in time, and the demand for the sale is greater than the supply of product interest. On the other end of the scale, there is a surplus of solar homeowner interest in Canberra, New South Wales Riverina region, Bunbury in Western Australia, and Mount Gambier in South Australia. Leading the way for solar homeowner interest this week is Melbourne, where there is a huge surplus of interest. We have such good levels of stock ourselves that we have reduced the price of Victorian leads to $10 per lead for this month. Back to you, Andrew.
Well, that brings an end to another week of the Juice News. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you all again next week. Until then, shine on.